two, two,
Yeah.
two.
Let's try this again, shall we? So we have to do this all over again. The audio did work. I don't understand, but anyway. So this time around, this week, I brought my lovely wife to help me with this conversation, questions, and we've been at it for a long, long time. So and it's a lot more fun with her. So you want to ask me a question?
Well, yeah, I just been around this guy a while, and like he says these things that stick, but then you're like, well, wait a minute, what does that really mean? And one of them is that polarity is the magic in relationships,
Hmm.
not equality.
Uh
And
huh.
it sounds so great, but it's like, okay, wait a minute, what does that really mean? And especially if couples think, well, we honor each other's differences, but really we're not. Like, I want you to spell it out. What does it really
Yeah, so a good one. It's a regular question because we live in a culture where everything equality, equal rights, equal pay, equal opportunity, of course, and that's
mean?
there's no
Yeah,
problem with that, right?
yeah.
I'm not a pig, I get it. However, it became this men and women are the same. So now men expect to be sweet, sensitive,
Oh, okay.
kind, share their feelings, vulnerable. Ladies, that's not a man, that's your girlfriend. So that would be nice, but it doesn't work that way, right? So on the other side, women are expected to be strong, independent, powerful, don't need no man,
Okay.
right? And the problem with that is, again, it's neutralizing your feminine energy. So when you neutralize the polarity between men and women, by the way, everything in nature is polarized. There's a black and white, there's a up and down, there's a yin yang, there's masculine and feminine, there's positive and negative magnets, right? So everything that flourishes, grows, multiplies, expands is polarized. Everything in nature is polarized. So as human, we think, we're gonna neutralize that. It'll be much better. Now it sounds good on paper, like you're even out the playing fields, in the realm of relationship, it's a kiss of death. This is why
Mm,
everyone's struggling out there because everything is equal, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
okay.
Nothing in relationships work that way.
So
So,
you're talking in behavior
yeah, I
and
mean,
approach,
and mindset. You know what I
mindset.
mean? A guy
Okay.
will never, what men will never act like a woman, ladies.
Yeah.
That's if the one that does, is not a man, is a boy, and these are the ones who cheat, lie, scam, con, right? Hurt women and children, not man, right? So if you're stuck in your masculine, by the way, since the culture is empowering you and telling you you should be masculine and independent,
Yeah.
the men that you want, the masculine men who are traditional, don't want masculine energy women. They find that very irritating, off-putting, and right down, you know, repelling. Ladies, I'm sorry to say. So the men that you want require you to be in your feminine. That's the polarity again. Masculine men want feminine women. Lovely, warm, radiant, agreeable, kind, submissive. Now, submissive, here's that word, right? It triggers people. Submissive is not doormat,
Right.
ladies. It's not doormat. So forget, release that meaning. Submissive in relationship means respectful cooperation with him.
Respectful cooperation.
The
Is like,
whole different meaning, right?
yeah,
But that's what
I
it
like
means.
that. And like supporting.
Yes, working
Yeah.
together.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
There's, if I can I ask,
Yeah.
there's something you said earlier of like when we talked about how you behavior, right? Like,
Yes.
so if we were equal, I was thinking it would be unfair for me to expect you to act like my girlfriend and like talk about our feelings and
You
like
get
that.
it.
Well, it seems like that would be torturous for a
It would
man.
be. It's not the way we're wired. That's not how we function.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now you
So
you get this because she has five older brothers, guys. So she
yeah.
understands men just being surrounded with them. Think about it, five older brothers and a dad. So
Right.
she gets it naturally, instinctively. She's been around it, right? If you don't have a good father, if you don't have brothers, right? Ladies really struggle with masculinity. Masculine men are big and combative by nature, right? They're they're what's the word? They're disagreeable a lot. They lead, they push, they run people over, right? They're busy competing. So those are the masculine ones, but they're hard to connect with emotionally.
Yeah.
So right? So masculinity is a challenge. The ones that you want that do everything right, provide, protect, cherish, give support, are hard to connect to, emotionally. That's the work that I teach, by the way. I can teach women how to bring a man out of his head into his heart, where you like us the most,
Yeah.
understanding the power of your femininity. That's what works. It's not the same, it's completely opposite. Just like our genitals, completely opposite, but made to fit beautifully. Masculine and feminine is the same, complete opposite made to fit in temperament. My strengths are different than your strengths, but together, boom, we build a relationship, we build a family, we build a legacy. That's the point.
So I'm going to ask this because for those who are listening and you're in a relationship, like we might think that we are honoring each other's differences, but the truth is, if we're expecting to flatten things out or pull or what is it, equality.
Yeah.
So can you share what does that look like when we're really not honoring each other's differences? Like, are we talking at work, at the home life?
Well, it's
What does
kind of
that look
everywhere.
like?
It's it's understanding. I call it our distinct operating system. Right? Women live their lives through their feelings and their bodies. We live our lives through our heads and our logic. Two different machines again. There's a polarity one more time. So often that creates some disconnect for the ladies. You think we're in our heads all the time, right? So
Hmm.
we appear to be distant,
Yeah.
disconnected and not talkative. Obviously, that's another disconnect, right? Shallow, sometimes even cold and selfish. No, I'm just in my head all day long. That's how
Hmm.
we survive for millennia. We have to be planning, plotting, and expecting everything that could go wrong in order for all of us to survive. So I'm not connected to your feelings. I'm connected to what we need to do to survive all the time, right? So, and this is why I say we need you to bring us down from there. Otherwise, we're in the rafters all the time. We
Okay.
need you to bring us down into our hearts and with a little breath and a little humanity. And yeah, it's not okay. Well, okay, we're good, kind of thing. So, right, that's our operating system. So we live through our heads and logic. Often for you, it feels weird. So you'd rather us be like you, talkative, connecting, but it's not realistic.
Hmm.
You're battling something that will never change. You'll end up frustrated and alone, right? So on the other side, for the ladies, you live through your feelings. So everything that comes at you, everything you see, hear, taste, touch, feel makes you good, makes you feel good or bad moment to moment. So you live through your lives through your feelings. Now it's perfectly appropriate for a woman, but we have to obviously understand that and deal with that. And
Hmm.
often you bring the waves, right, of the ocean, and we're like the riverbed holding it together, right? There's the yin yang one more time. If a man is emotional, boys,
Yeah.
right, and you're emotional, it's an explosion. It's a shit
Yeah.
show. And again, this like equality. If guys are like girls, right, the polarity that fits, men are stoic because they calm your nervous system.
Yeah.
If we were emotional, and
That's
some of you experience that, it's
yeah.
complete madness, right?
Yeah.
That again, this what doesn't work. So we're not the same. We're actually perfectly balanced to
Okay.
calibrate each other.
Yeah. So how it's like that in between place of how do we
The sweet spot. The
honor? Yeah,
sweet spot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're totally different than me. How do I honor that? How would I bring you out if let's say I'm feeling okay, I'm giving you your space in your head,
Yep.
but I'm feeling more and more disconnect and over here.
Yeah.
But you're saying I could invite you
Yes.
or pull
That's
you.
the work that I teach. So the
Okay.
communication stuff, ladies. How do you bring a man out of his head? How do you ask for adjustment and correction respectfully,
Right.
right, in order for him to instinctively want to fix it for you. That's if you understand our nature and our instinct to fix everything, for you to be happy, because if you're happy, I'm happy, right? If
Yeah.
you're good, I'm good. If you're at peace, you bring me peace. So we have an instinct to fix it. So, but if you come at me with waving your finger and I'm sick of this, you need to change that. Now you're my mother. You're gonna get a pushback. You're gonna think I'm more of a jerk, right? No, it's how you have to know understand the respectful language of asking for adjustment, and that's a blind spot for everybody. But it works fantastic, as you know.
Yeah. And that takes practice.
Takes
Right.
practice, like it's
Um,
unnatural. It's unnatural for
yeah.
the
Yeah.
opposite side.
So step one is embrace polarity and just
Encourage it,
like encourage
encourage it,
it. Yeah.
lean into it.
What was the story about someone who's trying to find somebody who likes all the same
Yeah.
activities?
So again, and if you go the same, you neutralize each other. So I had this client,
Mm,
in she's still in New York City, and she's getting older. She wants a relationship. Da 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 da. She's a boss, of course, in New York City. If you're gonna survive in New York, you're gonna be a dude in a skirt. Poor thing. But
yeah.
she loves it and whatever. But she has a hard time finding relationships, and she's stuck on this thing about we have to have the same interest in order for us to have a good life together. That's the same interest. So she likes to bike ride. She plays tennis a lot, and she skis. That's what you do on the East Coast. right? So she wanted a guy who likes riding bikes, playing tennis, and thinking we're going to be compatible, somebody to play with, somebody to do life with, right? Because we have the same interest. After about 8 months, their sensual sexual energy completely lined flattened out. They're too young and too new in a relationship for them to start slipping apart physically and sexually. But that happens because they're fucking neutralized. Excuse my French. Like she wants a guy like her. She finds a guy like her, and there's no pull. They just flatten out. They get more and more soft, and like so. When two feminine come together, it collapses. When two masculine come
Okay.
together, they fight.
Yeah.
So these two, with no real awareness, is completely just flattened out. And she's like, "That's not normal." I'm like, "Well, it's normal for the guy you picked." I keep telling you because it's not about similar interests; it's about similar values. Your values have to line up, like the big ones, right? Like marriage and kids and how to raise the kids if you can have kids, and or where do we retire, like the big value system, right? What's right, what's wrong for you, like how you live, your religion, if that,
Hmm.
whatever values have to
Big
line up to
values.
go long term.
Uh-huh.
But interest, absolutely not. And actually the fact that we're opposite in every way, your interests will be different, and again, that's an opportunity to grow and to learn from the other one things that are not natural to us.
I mean, like we can introduce some things that we love to
Exactly.
you and vice
And I
versa.
told her that
And
story, right? I had a client
yeah.
in New York, in Miami, and so she's a lawyer, but she travels a lot, right? She's been traveling. She's Canadian to the United States and travels and likes to go to Europe. And
Hmm.
she's also a lawyer. She makes good money. She can afford it. Blah blah blah. And so, but she can attract a guy. So after doing the program with me, up there you go. So magnetize a masculine man. That's what she wanted. He's a lawyer, right? He's a boss. He's got his stuff together. Da 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 da. So it's working. It's working. It's working. And a few months in the relationship, I think that's by month number 4, she goes, "We have a problem. We have a problem." I go, "What's the problem?" She goes, "Well, like me, I work and I love to travel and discover the world, and that's a big, that's kind of what I love to do, right?" And it goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "He's never been out of the country. I don't think he's been out of Florida, right?" She goes, "How's that going to work?" I'm like, "I don't see the problem because again, if you understand our differences, it's what's attractive, it
Uh-huh.
pulls the other one, and our interests." I says, "You could probably introduce him to traveling. He's
Oh.
never done it, right? So he
Oh,
probably
okay.
thinks it's too complicated. It doesn't, right? So you could introduce him to traveling, once a year, not 3 times a year. And because he's probably going to teach you to save some money and travel once a year, is it 3 times a year, right? That we help calibrate and balance each other's
Or discover local goodies to
anything,
visit,
right? So
right?
it's not a
So
problem
okay,
that they don't like the
okay.
same thing
Yeah.
because you end up like Miss Thing in New York City,
Oh, okay.
neutralized.
Okay.
So we
I get it.
embrace our differences, we dance with them,
Yeah.
and sometimes we join and sometimes we don't join.
Okay.
The stuff that I find fun is the junkyard. Do you think she likes the junkyard? She's a ballerina. No, I love it. There's a chase. There's a finding the right part. Right. There's a smell of gas and oil. I love it. Right. That's my life as a child. So I'm not going to drag her to the junkyard. I'll invite her to a car show. Right. That she could do and occasionally, but her world and my world come together,
Yeah.
and there's things that our interests don't need to be the same at all, and actually creates distance and I call it the elastic band. When we're away
Yeah.
from each other, right, we miss each other, we can't wait to come back, as opposed to constantly be together.
Yeah.
So interests are important, they don't have to be the same.
I, I just think it's crazy because I've been around this information, what, 17 years? You've been, is that right?
18, 18.
18? And it's never the same. It never gets old. It's always like there's always a situation I can think about that and apply, like, wait, how would this work? Or how can I approach this? Or
Yep,
blah, blah, blah.
yep.
And so it's just crazy. Um,
There's lots to
so
learn. This is a
polarity.
little bit. This is
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
topic.
One topic.
We'll do reveal and conceal next time. That's a good one.
I like that
Makes
one
the
too.
ladies crazy.
Yeah.
It's so obvious
Okay.
to man,
All right. Revealing
which is
conceal. I see.
proceed.
All right.
So
So
with that, where do people find me?
you can go find this man at projectequinox.net. And just there's a bunch of stuff on there. There's podcasts and articles and just lots of goodies and really informative things.
I also have a
And
special that I'm running right now. So if you're curious, want to talk to me directly, I have a running $85 program where we'll have a conversation in 45 minutes. You can tell me what's wrong, what's not working, where you're stuck, right? It's a really cheap intro to, having me just uh, help you break down wherever you're stuck. Because, like when we're stuck, we have a blind spot. And so that's an opportunity. Two, also, I have a live event in 2 weeks, February 22nd, here on the ground live in Los Angeles. I call it the Dance of Relationship, and it's a workshop, a 2-hour workshop where we discover the energy you bring in a relationship. Now, you can come as single or couples, right? But you'll actually get a mirror of what, like the energy that you bring, which is we're blind to, right? Like I
Mhm.
can't see me like you see me, and vice versa. So that experience, a visceral experience of how you show up and how people receive you, good and bad, right? Ah, so it changes people radically, and
Yeah, right there
there's that
too.
extra part of it, and
Yeah,
it's super powerful. I'm very
yeah,
proud of it. It's simple, so but it has to be done in person. I can't do that on Zoom. So
right.
if you're in Los
Yeah,
Angeles, in the Los Angeles area, it's going to be North Hollywood. It's kind of central, and come and
good.
learn. Come and
We'll
have
put the
fun.
links
We'll put
links
the
below,
links.
right?
Yeah, put the links.
Cool.
That
Okay.
said, this is it.
All right.
Thanks for joining me. It's a
Sure.
lot more fun with you. See you guys
Had
on the
fun.
next one.
Bye
Bye.
bye.